Almost, and I'm going to be talking about the Marathi period and a specific artwork from that period. The artwork I will be focusing on is the Ryoanji Garden, but before I dive into the details, here's a little history on the temple and the era it came from.
However, according to Japanology, Japanese rock gardens or Zen gardens have been around since the 18th century, where they served as a place to meditate and search for the meaning of life.
Before I start talking about the garden, here's a history on the Marathi period. The Marathi period was a period that took place from 1336 to 1573. During this time, Zen Buddhism was a religion that was spreading throughout the country that focused on art and culture. As a result, many temples were constructed. However, one particular garden called the Ryoanji Garden is one of I'm going to focus on today. Now, talked about the garden itself. The Ryoanji Garden, which loosely translates to Temple of the Peaceful Dragon, is located in Kyoto, Japan, and was constructed during the Marathi period as mentioned before. The garden is a Zen temple garden and was used as a Zen center for cultural activities for the elites during the late 16th century.
Now I'm going to talk about the design elements of the garden. However, according to smarthistory.org, the garden may have been inspired by aspects of both the Japanese and Chinese culture. However, according to company.net, the design of the temple is obviously a Buddhist Zen temple. However, there is no evidence that monks actually have any influence on the design of the garden.
Now I'm going to talk about the design elements of the garden itself. The temple garden features the mirror pond with a view of the mountains. The garden also features earthy tones and simple rock garden containing plants or embellishments. However, unlike most gardens, the garden is void of vegetation and only features moss that are only seen on the rocks that are present in the garden. The idea that simplicity, plainness, and imperfection are bearers of great beauty, which is why the garden is void of vegetation and only features rocks and the sand.
Also, according to smarthistory.org, like other Japanese rock gardens, the garden presents stones surrounded by raked white gravel with the minimal use of plants. As mentioned before, it's void of vegetation that's only featured outside the temple. However, if 15 rocks of different sizes are carefully arranged in groups amongst the raked pebbles covering 250 square meter of ground. Also, Japanology also states that despite the garden being void of vegetation, ponds, and hills, the surrounding grounds of the temple feature the mirror pond, vegetation, trees, hiking trails for visitors to travel